Hello everyone. This video will explain you about Heroku platform integration with Salesforce using REST API and Apex callout. We already done integration with Salesforce and Heroku using Salesforce Connect, Heroku Connect, and the Canvas API integration. Today we will see REST API and Apex callout for connecting these two Salesforce and Heroku applications. Before starting, let me introduce myself. I am Dhanik Lal Sahni. I'm technical architect in Content Business Solution. I'm certified application architect and I'm also certified with the integration architecture design certification. If you want to connect me for any discussion or any collaboration, Dhanik Sahni is my Twitter handle. I'm also available on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you want to discuss, please connect on LinkedIn or Twitter handle. I also run a blog, salesforcecodex.com. This is, you can say, a very good blog for lightning, lightning architecture, and Apex related things. So if you want to learn something new or some advanced topic, please go and check this blog. Today's session is 20 number 6, session 4, integration architecture design and certification, which typically have have a feature build solution which is around 23% of integration architecture certification. And our topic of today actually this lies on this build solution thing where we have to build a integration solution for integration of Salesforce and Heroku application. So let's see what is the agenda today. So we'll see what are the integration methods available between Salesforce and Heroku, and then we'll see Heroku Salesforce REST API integration. Then we'll see Salesforce and Heroku REST API integration. Basically, from both sides, we'll try to connect each other's API. Okay, in today's session or today video demo, which mostly it's a demos kind of thing, very less in conceptual or theoretical part. So let's get started. Salesforce Heroku integration method. We have around these 7 integration method. We already done Heroku, Canvas app, and Salesforce Connect. Today we'll discuss about Salesforce REST API and Salesforce callout. Salesforce callout, we have another two concept of Salesforce callout integration. We'll see one method today. The second method we of course will see in a future session. So first is Salesforce REST API in Heroku. Salesforce REST API provide an easy way to integrate with Salesforce through a simple HTTP and JSON request. So basically, whatever JSON data you have or JSON request you are getting from Heroku to Salesforce, all those things we can easily integrate using a REST API. We already discussed with the Heroku Connect, Salesforce Connect, and Canvas API. They everyone has a different concept to integrate. In REST API, basically, we have a lot of control, too much control on our integration. Okay. When there is a specific low-level integration is required, or you want a complete control of integration, then probably you should go with the REST API integration. Like example, if something is created in a Heroku application, I want to do something in Salesforce application on the change of data, on change, creation of record, or when you create any record in Salesforce, or when I want to update a record in Heroku app, after that I want to do some certain steps, okay, which is not possible in other Connect. So for that scenario, we should go with the Salesforce REST API integration. REST API uses OAuth for the authentication, which is a standard way for handling REST authentication. If you see in the screen, we have a Heroku app, okay, and this Heroku app can be of different kind: Ruby, JavaScript, Python, Java, PHP, Scala. We will go with the Node.js application today, and that Node.js application will actually fetch data from Salesforce API. Okay, so we'll see how we can fetch data from Salesforce to the Heroku application. So let's see what are the steps we have to perform in when we connect. We can get the data from Salesforce into the Heroku. We are going to create a Node.js application in Heroku thing. So let's see what are the steps required. If you see, we have divided in three steps. First, we are doing all those activities in Heroku. Then we will do in Salesforce, and then again we will update some setting based on the second step to again in Heroku application. So, what is our step first? So in the step first, what we are going to do, we are creating one application, and that application we will deploy in Heroku. So for that, first you need a Heroku user. We already created one user in our first session, so we will going to utilize the same user. But if you don't have, if you are seeing this video first time, so better first create a Heroku user, okay, so that you can actually install or you can deploy this sessions application. So first create a user in Heroku application, okay. After that, we have to create a local folder in our Windows system or in a Mac system. So let's get started step by step. We will do that. Okay. So first, what we have to do, we have to create a local folder in our Windows system. So let me create. First, let me close all my folders, and then we'll start here. So let's see. I'm creating one folder, session course. I am creating this folder. My first step is completed. Okay. My first session or step was creating a local folder in your Windows system. Then the second step was open folder in a VS Code. So let's start our VS Code, start Visual Studio Code, and then we open that folder which we have created. We have created at session force code here. I am opening this folder. You can see he's saying, do you trust the author of the files in this folder? Yes, I trust this author. Okay. Now we have opened the folder. Now the third step is run command git init in terminal window. So first we have to see view, and then we have a terminal. So if you have not installed git, okay, you can install git using Salesforce extension. You can see we have all extension thing. You can install git from here. Okay, so if you already done it, then what we have to do, simply git and init. Git init basically telling you that okay, we are starting the git repository. That's it. So it's saying initialize empty git repository. We have initialized this folder as a git repository. Next, what is the steps we have now? Put all the code in this folder from this repository we have taken. So this repository was, the code is written that okay, we have to get the code, and it's basically fetching data from Salesforce and showing that in a Node.js application. So for that, I have just copied it, but what you can do, you can see this code. This code is here. James Ward is the author, QuickForce Node. So all those code is available here. You can get the code or you can download this code in your local folder. I have already done this. If you see, this is the code I have already downloaded in the app. I'm copying the complete content and putting that in whatever new folder which we have created, which is a session force codex. As soon as I put those files, we can see these files are available now here. So folders, we got created a folder, we have added files there. Now what we have to do? The next step is git add. So whatever files or folder we have added here in the folder, we have placed in folder, let that add in git repository. So this is the command which will add all those files and folder in a git repository. We have done it. What is the next step then? Then we are adding this, basically whatever files we have added, let's commit it. So then we have committed, commit, F1M, first commit. Now, these four local folders are committed in this Git local repository. Now, then we have to create a Heroku application. So Heroku is another command on the terminal window. So this command will only available when you have two extension installed, which is Heroku and Heroku CLI extension. Let me show that where you can find that. So if you see, we have extension Heroku. You can see this is a first extension and second is a Heroku CLI. You have to install both extension to run this command, Heroku command on the terminal window. So once you have it, once you install that, then what you have to do, next step is log into uh, to Heroku dashboard application. So because these command, whatever command you are running, it should be integrated with some says Heroku application, Heroku login. So for that, you have to log in it. And for login it, what you have to write? You have to start Heroku login command. Basically, you can see do it Heroku. You can see it's up to date. Press any key to open up the browser. I'm starting. You can see log into the Heroku CLI because I'm already logged in. So it's this screen showing. If it was not logged in, then it will ask you to the credential, username, the password, and then it will log in. So log in and see, log into your account. I'm log out. So I'm logging in again. I'm logged in. You can close this page and return to your CLI. So let me close this page, return to this page. Now I'm logged in as a Dhanik Sahni at yahoo.com for this Heroku integration. Now, next step is create a application, Heroku create. So let's create a Heroku. So, second, please. Let me see what we are sharing. That we already said. So next step is create a Heroku application. I'm running that Heroku create command. You have reached the app limit for 5 hours for unverified account. Delete some apps. So it's saying that we have reached. So let me delete one application. Okay. And then we'll see once again. Let me go in personal. Login again. You can see we have already created those things. So let me remove this one. Open. We have setting, and in setting we have a delete app. Let me delete. That's what the app name. Delete app. We have deleted it. Let's do the same step once again. It's trying to create. So now this app is created. This app is created in our Heroku application. So if you see, if you want to refresh it, this you can see Agile Retreat 57508, which is created here. Now it's on Heroku application now. Now, what is the next step? Next step is whatever code we have in local repository, let's push that as a build file in our Heroku application. For that, we have git push Heroku master. Git push Heroku master. So master is a branch. Basically, we are pushing our code in master branch. So it's pushing that all that code in the Heroku master branch. Just wait for a minute and then it will push the complete code. it will actually, it's this command actually is building the whatever application you have added in your local repository, local folder. It will actually, because that is a node application, so it is actually building that node.js application, and it will push the build file on that Heroku application as well, so that you can easily run that application. You can see now this application is deployed. So for deployed version, you can see method not allowed. Okay, let's go in this one, agile retreat, scene settings, and you can see this is the application. Okay, now what this application is saying, okay, first you have to set up OAuth. Okay, you have to show the authentication detail, okay, how this application will be connected with the Salesforce. So for connecting the Salesforce, what we need, any external application, if they want to connect with the Salesforce, they need a connected app. So for that connected app, let's create a connected app in Salesforce application. So for that, let me log in my Salesforce application. I'm already logged in, which is my developer org. I'm creating a new connected app. Okay, we see our second step was there, Salesforce API and in Heroku, is create a connected app. So create a connected app here. It's taking some time. Just wait for seconds. It should come. Otherwise, let me press again. New connected app. So now we are here. Session integration. Go to this. This is my email. After that, I am enabling OAuth setting. Okay. And then callback URL. Callback URL will always be your application, Heroku application. Callback to the Heroku app. So let's get the Heroku application URL. So that will be our this one. Let's this one added as a Heroku URL. Then we have to enable the full control. Let's give the full access, but if you as a requirement, you can change to the other auth scopes as well. Like you need ID profile, email address, phone, refresh token, offline access, and provide access to your data via the web. This is typically and access and manage your data API. These are normally 3 or 4 scopes we normally prefer. But for the testing purpose, let's go with the full access. Okay, save it, and it's saying within 10 minutes it will take effect. Continue it, and our connected app is created. So that application was saying that, okay, connect this. So let's open our open setting and put the consumer key. This is a consumer key. How you will go? If you see, this is our Node.js application. In setting, you go and see reveal config variables. Click on that, it and try to add those connected app detail. You can see consumer key in here is copy this one and put that here, add that thing. And second was is consumer secret. Let me add this one, consumer secret, and get the secret from this one, copy this and put that in our variable. So now both a variable is added. Okay, let's me see. Okay, now refresh this page again. What we see, because we have set up all those required. Now is saying client identifier invalid. Okay, invalid client. So looks like whatever data we have put, it's like is wrong. So let's see consumer key. What consumer key is there? We are copying this, pasted this is proper. I don't think there's a problem. Let's see this one. Copy. This. Okay. Now, once it's done, you can click here to run that application. Still saying client and device. So let's wait for some time. Okay, maybe because this connected app is not ready. So that's why we are getting this error. So we'll wait for some time and then actually it will start that process of authentication and taking the access basically. So let's refresh it. Still saying it's the same error. So till time, let's go in this. Okay. So what we have done is step two. We have created a connected app. We have given full access scope to the application, connected app application. Then we have added a callback URL, which is our Heroku app. Whatever Heroku app we have created, that URL we have added in a callback URL. And then we have got the consumer key and secret. We have now in third step, what we have done, we have set connected app detail in our Heroku app setting. In that setting, we have added we have added consumer key and consumer secret setting we have added in our Heroku application. And after that, we are running this Heroku application. So it should start login space process. So just wait for seconds. Obviously, it's not second, actually it's minutes because it takes time, some time. I want to show the complete process. Now you can see that that application actually is when everything is correct, we are getting Salesforce Heroku integration is asking for these detail because session Heroku integration, this is a connected app which we have created. So let's allow him view all those setting. Okay, we have allowed it. Okay, now you can see we got those detail here. Whatever Salesforce data in account object. Now how we are getting data in account object. So for that, let's go in our application app.js. In app.js, what we had, this is enforce application. Okay. What we are doing when we are hitting this get repository, but that because by default that page actually hitting that get call, and that get call, we are retrieving data from account object. Okay, it's getting ID, name, type, industry, and rating from the account object, order ID, and description. So if it is this case, let us add one new account and see that is reflecting there or not. So go there. Let's create a new account. Test app. Test app is our new account. Test@test.com. Okay, and save it. So we have created a new account. Let's see this account is showing in our Heroku application or not. So you can see this is the application. Let us run this. And now you can see this test app, this record which we have created an account, we are getting that in our Node.js application. So this was step-by-step integration where we have fetched data from Salesforce to our Heroku application. Okay, and we have done using Node.js application. Next, we have Heroku REST API integration in Salesforce. So basically, you have some REST API deployed in your Heroku application. Okay, you have created some REST API in your Heroku, and that application is available as an API. Okay, so now you want to fetch all those REST API detail in Salesforce. Okay, This is the second steps or second process where you first step was from Salesforce to Heroku, we are getting data. Now we are getting data from Heroku to Salesforce. So this is basically done using our REST API integration or Apex callout integration basically. In Apex callout integration, we have two concepts. One is Apex callout, where we actually will call REST API to get the data from Heroku. The second method is outbound message, which we normally do using workflow. Okay, this workflow concept or outbound messaging we'll see in the next video. For the current session, current video, let's go and discuss about the Apex callout. In Apex callout, when you want to integrate your Heroku API in Salesforce using REST API, what minimum information we required or what minimum steps you need to do. First, you need to get the Heroku API URL and authentication detail if you have. For this video, we are not going with any authentication thing. We are just going with the anonymous API. Okay. Second step, we will go with the named credential with the API detail. We can go without named credential also. We can directly use our REST API URL in our Apex code. But I always prefer to go with a named credential because it helps us actually authenticate and pre-authentication thing. And then also this, if you have to avoid, you can avoid remote site setting using named credential. And this also helps us if you are changing URL at a later stage. Okay, instead of this API, you want to connect to the other API or the another version of this API. We just need to change the URL in our name credential. No code change is required. Okay, so that's why I prefer with the name credential. Okay, so we'll create a name credential with the API detail, and then we'll create a Apex class which will use this above named credential to call that Heroku API. And after that, what we'll do, we'll create a LWC component which will show the data from Heroku to our Salesforce application. So let's see, we because we have already API. Okay, let's see what API we have. If you see in our personal, I have created real estate codex. In this codex, we have setting. Go in this application. Let me show and brokers. You can see this API basically retrieves all the brokers of the real estate application. So this data, if you want to visualize as a properly, let's JS beautifier or JSON beautifier, you can see that. Okay, you can see we have around 8 records, which, and this JSON will gives data: first name, last name, title, phone, mobile phone, email, and picture of that broker also. So this API basically gives these 8 records, and we have to show that in our Lightning LWC component. For that, first we have to create our named credential. We already got this API. Next is named credential. In named credential, what I have done, I have created this broker named credential. For simple, for this API, what we have to we have to add the name, what name we are want to put this API. So named credential is brokers. This is a API URL which we have just hit. Okay, if you see, this is a URL which I have put in a name credential. So this is a name credential, and after that, just generate the authorization header setting. Other than this, I have not set up anything in the name credential. Okay, so done it. Okay, after that, we have a create Apex class to use named credential. So for that, let's go in Apex class. The rest of the Apex class which we have done is Heroku REST API. In this Heroku REST API, I am using a normal get method, get REST API call. in REST API call, what I'm doing, I'm using callout broker. So using this callout and the name of the named credential, we actually use named credential in a Salesforce. This is a notation to you call any API using a named credential. So this will be our URL. Okay, get is the preferred method right now, and then we are hitting the REST API call. After the call, it will get the data which will come as a response that go to query. So what it will do, whatever data we have, let's put that or deserialize those data in one object, or which we can say a wrapper class. Okay. So in wrapper class, whatever method, whatever features, whatever properties or attributes was there in our REST API, broker API, we have added all those properties. Okay. So we have added phone, title, mobile phone, last email, first name, picture, and ID. All those property we have created as a class. And the response which we are getting from the REST API, we are deserializing that all those data in this class. So all those data after this rising will come in this object, broker object. And this code, or basically this method, get broker method, will be called using LWC component. So next step is creating a LWC component. So you can see this is our LWC component. In this LWC component, I'm just showing all those data in our Lightning data table. So Lightning data table we have used, okay, and we are getting data from data object, and the column is are showing as a column property or the basically field. So if you see, we are calling using a wire apex method. We are calling Heroku REST API class, and this is a method. Get broker is the method which will called when this wire method will be called. Okay, we are defining all those properties or the fields, a column basically, which we need to show in the that application. Okay, so first name, last name, phone, mobile, email will be shown. After that, what we are doing, we are getting a data from Apex to this LWC. So for that, we are using wire adapter of the LWC component. We have used wire. Get floor is a method. Okay, Apex method. And basically instance of this get that is there. Get broker is the instance also, and this is a method also in that class. So I am using instance. So using this method, we are getting data, and all those data will be updated or set in data variable. Okay, this data array variable. So after this page actually, this page will loaded, it will get the data. It will basically call the Heroku REST API class. It will get the data from the get brokers method, and it will be set in this variable. And this variable, because it is set up as a data in a Lightning data table, it will show in our Lightning app. So let's see that in action. Okay, test app. What I have done, I have created a broker Lightning component. You can see, oh, you are getting data. All those data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These data we are getting from that Heroku application to our Salesforce application using Apex callout, Apex REST API callout. Okay. All those data which is available there, it is showing here. You can see this. If you just want to see that, if you say this is Caroline Kingsley and senior broker, all those Caroline Kingsley, these all those details available. So we the second, okay, this is Heroku REST API integration Salesforce. This is the first method we have done. Second method with the output message, of course, we'll do the next video or next session. Now what? When to use REST API? We already discussed that, okay, when we need to take some kind of action on the data processing, okay, or you want to take a full control of the API integration, we should go with the REST API. Like example, on the call of after you get the data from Heroku, you want to do some further processing of on those data, and that further processing, it possible that multiple objects, multiple classes can be called, or maybe other integration REST APIs could be called. So in such kind of a scenario, we should go with the REST API because we have a full control what we need to do on certain steps. Okay. Okay, for that scenario, we should go with the REST API call. So that's it for the current video, okay, current session. And probably in the next session which we have discussed, we will go with the outbound message Apex call out. Okay,